Welcome into week 3 of Coach's Corner. This is our third trip to Tipton High School to talk wrestling with head coach Matt Nerum. Coach, welcome in.
Thanks.
You must be getting used to these shows. You're back for more, I guess. So we have our duel, second home duel to talk about, and Keith Bry Invitational, the always tough Appleton Parkers meet that we go to. So let's jump right in and start with the duels. We wrestled Iowa State Regina first, won that 37-36, and then took the next dual round off, and then came back with West Branch, and unfortunately took a 54-30 defeat. On the flip side, we do have 3 dual wins now and 2 losses. So, what's your overall thoughts at this point?
Well, I guess anytime that you can have more wins than losses, that's the goal. And I think if you look at the results too, the 2 meets that we've come up short, we're not blowouts by any means. We lost, I think, 48-36 duel against Northeast, and then of course we lost to West Branch 54-30. Might possibly be the most solid team we've seen, though, also just from top to bottom. So.
Well, Regina, kind of close for the most part. We kind of took control at 160 on. We did get 3 forfeits. Jason Rolfe at 113, Andrew Gilbert at 126, and Dylan Benz at 132. Jump ahead to 160. Mitch Chapman picked up a decision over Casey Beaver, 7-3. That was a big match. Beaver's not a bad wrestler. That put the score at 24-21. Pretty close match. And Beaver's a little more, he has to be 5'4" at best. He has low center. He's a bigger guy. What about that match?
Well, Casey Beaver's I think a state qualifier. I know he was a district qualifier last year. So, he's a kid that's got some experience and obviously has some talent. Against one of our more improved kids from last year, Mitch Chapman, and Mitch has been wrestling pretty well, and it was just a good match. We know that Beaver's dangerous. He kind of likes the upper body stuff, and felt like if Mitch could get in on his legs and work his leg attacks, that he'd be fine. There was a couple of tense moments in there where they were rolling around a little bit more than I would have liked to see him. But like I said, when Mitch got in on his legs, he did a good job of finishing. And we actually wrestled Beaver again on Saturday.
Right.
So a couple good matches with him there, and a couple short days. Overall, the Regina meet was kind of a tale of two meets actually in one. They were pretty solid, or more solid than we were, I guess. At the lower weights, and then kind of the strength of our lineup right now is from 160, through 195, and that's kind of where we got the momentum back. And I know you alluded to the forfeits that we did get, and obviously that helps play into our hands. And that's one of the advantages of having the numbers, and we've talked about this a little bit before. When you've got extra guys that you can move up a weight and send them out there to take a forfeit. Now, I think Regina had a couple holes because of some flu bug or some illness going around, but I guess we also had some guys out of our lineup too with some injuries and stuff, and so it is what it is there. But my point is, when we've got those extra guys, that's huge. That's huge to have those numbers in the room where we can put guys out there and let them take a forfeit for us, and instead of giving them up, which is what we've done in the last few years. So
Now Regina, their lineup spreads out quite a bit as in years past. They seem to be topping out at 6 or 7. It seems like at the varsity duel. So
their numbers are up too. So their coach must be doing a good job of recruiting over there and getting some of those kids out too. So, and then actually, that's good to see. We don't want to go have a dual meet where we only get 2 or 3 matches, or 6 matches. ideally, we'd have dual meets where we wrestle 14 matches, and
Right.
they're well-contested matches, so, I mean, that's the goal.
Cole Cook picking up a major decision, 15-5 over Adam Rice. Put the score at 25-24, and it kind of just kept rolling. Jordan Childs got a big pin in 39 seconds over Aaron Demery, 31-24, put the score there. And then Andrew Stambro at 195 pinned Peyton Mask at 3:59, and really controlled out the match. It seemed like that put the score at 37-24, and we needed all those points. The forfeit bug kind of flipped on us with no 220 and 285. I mean, that's just how it's going to be. But to pull that out,
Yeah, we knew probably by 160 what we had to do the rest of the matches. That we needed to get at least 2 pins or 3 pins or 2 pins out of those last couple matches, and Cole was working pretty hard to get a fall, but couldn't quite get the guy turned. But that extra point that he earned for a major there was came to be the difference in the match. And of course, Jordan's been having a good season at 182, and went out and took his guy down in 39 seconds and finished it. And then Andrew Stambro stepped into the varsity lineup for the first time at 195 and did a tremendous job.
attitude was great. He was,
Well, we knew we needed a pin. We knew at that point we needed a pin to win the thing, and he was kind of just workmanlike out there. Just went out and didn't try to. The thing I liked, he didn't try to pin the guy in the first 20 seconds. Okay, you got 6 minutes to do it. So he went out, see him using the offense, the things that we practiced in the practice room. Got a takedown, went to work on top, and kind of wore the guy down just with good solid attacks on top and riding on top, and just did a great job. So
puts us over the West Branch. You can look up and down the lineup. We were talking earlier about a lot of these guys are seniors or juniors at most. I don't know if they have a sophomore or freshman on here, and I'm sure they might. Apologize if they do. Anyway, the thing that sticks out here is we get 28 forfeit points. Bigger yet, we win 1 of 6 contested matches. It's kind of a interesting dynamic. Our win comes from Alex Forjan, 145. He pins Aaron Barnes. Really big match for Alex. Forfeits come from 120 at Sam Northup, 170 at Cole Cook, 182 at Jordan Chalice, and 106 for Jacob Mockmore Smith. I can't get past the 1 of 6 contested matches.
Well, I knew going into this meet that this was going to be one of the more solid, just top and bottom teams that we're going to see. I mean, they did have 4 forfeits, where we scored points there, but every guy that they put on the mat is a solid competitor. They didn't have any, weak links in their lineup, and they don't. You look at their roster that they sent me before the meet, and I think I counted 8 or 9 seniors in that roster. So they've got guys that have been around the block, guys that have done a lot of wrestling, and quite honestly, we knew that it was going to be that kind of match. And they're one of the teams I picked at the start of the year to compete probably for our conference title, and they showed it with the guys they put out on the mat. I wasn't disappointed in how any of our guys wrestled. Quite honestly, I felt like we competed hard, and in the matches that we did wrestle, and we came up a little short in 5 of those 6 matches. But like I said, and they were a little, they did have some holes kind of at the strength of our lineup too, which it just wasn't really a good matchup for us overall. But I give West Branch credit, and I give our guys credit. And Alex wrestled a heck of a match. That was a good win for him. Stayed in there. It was a close match for most of the match, and ended up finally getting the kid on his back late in the 3rd period and getting a pin. So a lot of credit to him for just standing there and fighting hard. Get a good win.
I mean, when you have Kate Jones defending champ from last
Sorry.
year, you have Kober, Pence, Donovan, Sadell, right? How do I mean, what was the goal going into that? I mean, was it to see that competition? Because I mean, there's a difference between we don't have a state champ in our room. We don't have some of the depth that they do necessarily from district qualifiers in our room. Is it just you look at it as opportunity to see that one more time?
Definitely, just an opportunity to go out and test ourselves against some of the tougher competition in our conference, and I felt like our guys went out and competed hard in that dual meet, and actually I was at the time I was a little more concerned with how we wrestled in the Regina match, the match that we won at some weight classes, and than I was in the West Branch match. I felt like our guys competed the way they were supposed to, and did what they needed to do, and laid it all on the line out there, and that's all we can ask of them. So,
well, let's step aside. We turn our attention to the Keith Bry Invitational, and got some things to talk about there too. So, we'll be back right after this.